Howdy gamers, Laughenstein here and I have played 5 hours of Signalis. Before we get started, if you have been enjoying the reviews, consider subscribing to the channel. I'm trying to reach my goal of 400 subscribers before 2023. Let me know which games are on your radar so I can do a review in the future and give you the details before you make the purchase. Signalis is a creepy, atmospheric horror game which begins when a spaceship crash lands on a mysterious planet shortly after a disaster has taken place. You control a replica unit, which seems to be an android of sorts, who awakens on the crashed ship and then begins searching for the pilot they were traveling with. Something that you will discover early on is the King in Yellow, something extremely freaky and straight from Lovecraftian mythos. In the real world, The King in Yellow is a collection of 10 stories by Robert Chambers, written in 1895. A recurring theme in the book and other inspired media is that when someone sees the yellow sign, they inevitably go mad. Finding the King in Yellow so early in this game feels like a bad omen. I won't give away anything too juicy since there are a lot of interesting plot points and mechanics in Signalis which are best experienced independently. The graphics and design remind me of an older game that uses the limitations to lead the art. Similar to one of my favorite games, Out of This World or Another Universe, depending on where you are located in the world. The first few hours of the game are broken up by exploring different floors of this giant building, and you're looking for the requirements necessary to make it to the next floor. You'll find different weapons which require different ammunition, as well as secondary weapons that you can use to help you out in a pinch. A giant pain that you're going to run into is cycling between the item box mechanic and your limited inventory space of 6 slots. I found this to be a bit frustrating, but those more accustomed to the survival horror genre might think differently. You have an unlimited number of saves, which can be accessed in safe rooms. The game also cycles between first-person and third-person perspective for cutscenes and when you're exploring certain rooms. I think this really helps the player immerse themselves in the environment, which adds another layer of fear. The map system is fantastic. It shows you which doors are locked, where you have explored, where the points of interest are. It's great. As someone who dislikes wasting their time needlessly traveling, I appreciate this so much. A point of frustration I experienced was about 2 hours in. There was an item that I needed to find to progress to the next floor, but I could not identify it on the ground, and I ended up having to look up the solution online. And once I found the solution, it seemed super obvious, so it could just be a me problem. Signalis is definitely inspired by the older Resident Evil and Silent Hill games. Is this game worth the $20 price point? If you are a fan of the survival horror genre, especially the ones from the late 90s and the early 2000s, then I would say definitely. If you're more so-so on the genre, or you're more adverse to slower paced games, then I would give this one a skip. I like the older survival horror genres a bit, but I much prefer higher action games. Where I enjoyed playing this game, I could see the pain points, the slower gameplay, and the inventory juggling being too frustrating for some. If you played the game, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for checking out the video, and I'll see you in the next one.